Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Friday, February 3, 2023, and giving you our team pick for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comment section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Harvard Crimson vs Yale Bulldogs. The Yale Bulldogs visit Leavitt's Pavilion in Cambridge, Massachusetts on Friday for an Ivy League showdown against the Harvard Crimson. Yale is 14-6 overall and 4-3 in Ivy League play following its 87-65 victory over the Princeton Tigers. The leading scorer for Yale was John Paulikitas with 19 points. The Bulldogs shot 59.3% overall and held Princeton to 41.9% shooting. Yale has won each of its last three. I feel really good about backing the home team in this matchup between inexperienced teams. Yale might be riding a 3-game winning streak, but all 3 of those victories came at home. Harvard has struggled with consistency, but it has covered the spread in 5 of its last 7 games, while Yale has only covered once in its last 6 games. The Bulldogs have only covered the spread 2 times in their last 10 games against Harvard, so they have not been the profitable side to back in this rivalry. I think it is going to be difficult for their inexperienced lineup to have success on the road in this matchup, especially against a Harvard team that has a big height advantage. Our team pick is Harvard plus 3.5 points. Dartmouth Big Green vs Brown Bears. The Brown Bears visit Edward Lead Arena in Hanover, New Hampshire on Friday to play the Dartmouth Big Green in an Ivy League matchup. Brown dropped to 10-10 overall and 3-4 in Ivy League play following its 80-73 loss to Cornell. The leading scorer for Brown was Paxson Wojcik with 22 points. Brown shot just 38.0% overall and was out-rebounded by Cornell 45-40. Brown took the first meeting this season at home, but one has to be concerned about their issues when it comes to knocking down free throws. Being the worst team among the 363 Division I programs at the charity stripe is going to inevitably lead to them coming up on the short end of close games. Dartmouth has the advantage when it comes to being the better team offensively, while Brown has the edge on the defensive end of the floor. Brown is 4-6 as the visiting team on the year, and they have dropped 4 straight games away from home entering this game. Dartmouth has some momentum going for them, and that, plus home court in their favor, is enough to carry them to a win. Our team pick is Dartmouth Big Green plus 1.5 points. Ball State Cardinals vs Eastern Michigan Eagles. The Eastern Michigan Eagles visit Worthen Arena in Muncie, Indiana on Friday for a Mid-American Conference clash with the Ball State Cardinals. Eastern Michigan improved to 6-16 overall and 3-6 in MAC play following its 90-79 victory over the Ohio Bobcats on Tuesday. Tyson Acuff was the leading scorer for Eastern Michigan with 29 points. Eastern Michigan has won 2 straight after suffering through a 5-game losing streak. The Eastern Michigan Eagles are playing their strongest basketball of the season. They almost defeated a stellar Toledo squad in an 84-79 road loss and have since won 2 straight games, beating Miami, Ohio, and Ohio. Ball State lost their previous home game in a rough 91-65 decision against Buffalo. Furthermore, Eastern Michigan is clicking in the offensive end. They have averaged a stellar 81 points in their last 3 games. This is key as Ball State is pegged 203rd in DI in adjusted defensive efficiency and ranks 333rd in 3-point defense. Eagles scoring leader Emoni Bates scored 43 points last week and has the ability to keep his team in the game. Our team pick is Eastern Michigan Eagles plus 13.5 points. Princeton Tigers vs Cornell Big Red. The Cornell Big Red go back on the road Friday night to New Jersey for a matchup with the Princeton Tigers. Cornell comes into Friday 10 games above .500 after winning 3 of the last 4 games, including a 7-point victory against Brown. Defensively, Cornell controlled the game, allowing only 73 points on 38% shooting and forced 14 turnovers to get the win. Offensively, Cornell was by far the better team, scoring 80 points, including 47 in the second half, to erase a 2-point halftime deficit on 47.1% shooting from the floor. Princeton covered the spread the first time these teams met as 3.0-point underdogs. This time around, I think the Tigers do the same thing. Princeton's offense is able to keep up with Cornell's because of their efficiency. The Tigers shot 49.0% in the first game and 36.4% from deep. They won that game 75-68 on the road despite turning the ball over 7 more times than the Big Red did. A major part of that is also their defense, which is significantly better than Cornell's at forcing misses. Princeton should take care of business, winning a 4th straight home game and covering the spread in the process. Our team pick is Princeton -2 points. And Quakers vs Columbia Lions. The Columbia Lions visit the Palestra in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on Friday for an Ivy League showdown with the Pennsylvania Quakers. Columbia looks to snap a 6-game losing skid with a victory on the road Friday. Columbia is 6-16 overall and 1-6 in Ivy League play following its 83-73 loss to Dartmouth. The leading scorer for Columbia was Geronimo Rubio de la Rosa with 19 points. The Penn Quakers absolutely blew Columbia's doors in the last time they played at Columbia. This time they are home and I don't see much a different result given the advantages Penn possesses. For starters, the Quakers have one of the best pure scorers in the nation in Dingle, and there is no one on Columbia's defense to stop him. So, while both teams like to shoot a 3, Pennsylvania is much more proficient at it, shooting 35% from deep. They are also much better at defending it, holding opponents to 31% shooting from long range. That will be the difference maker. Take Penn here to cover the spread. Rider Broncs vs St. Peter's Peacocks. The St. Peter's Peacocks continue a road trip Friday night with a game in Lawrenceville, New Jersey against the Rider Broncs. St. Peter's comes into Friday 3 games below .500 after winning 2 of the last 3 following 11-point victory over MSM. Defensively, St. Peter's played well, allowing only 62 points on 40.8% shooting and forced 13 turnovers in the game. Offensively, St. Peter's was by far the better team, pouring in 52.3% of their shots and 56.3% from beyond the arc to score 73 points, including 47 in the second half, to erase a 12-point halftime deficit. The St. Peter's Peacocks are stumbling in mock play, dropping 6 out of their last 8 games, while the Rider Broncs are one of the best teams in the conference. Rider is hot, winning 5 consecutive games. Furthermore, St. Peter's is abysmal in the offensive end. They are only averaging 96.9 points per 100 possessions, pegging them 326th, while Rider is averaging 106.7 points per 100, making the spread more than reasonable. It's going to be difficult for St. Peter's to score against a Broncs squad that is playing outstanding defense. They have conceded 65 or fewer points in 4 consecutive games. Our team pick is Rider Broncs -7 points.